Hi everybody, welcome. Today's video is going to be a spring get ready with me. I recently picked up one of these little Wet n Wild color icon palettes. This is a purple one here, and this lilac shade just really caught my attention. So I wanted to do kind of a fun spring look that is bright, incorporating those lilac shades, but also make it wearable enough for every day. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I also recently did a declutter and organization and rediscovered a lot of products that I haven't used in a while that I wanted to share as well. So this is just going to be a quick, simple spring get ready with me. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting off with face and foundation, I'm going to be using my IT Cosmetics CC Plus Illumination Cream today. This is a product, I mentioned it in that declutter. When I came across it, I kind of forgot about it. I used to use this all the time, and then I just kind of set it aside, but I used to really like this, so I'm excited to try it again. Basically, the way that I use this is I actually pump out just a little bit of moisturizer onto my hand, just about like a pea-sized amount, and then I mix a little bit of this in just to sheer it out a little bit. The CC cream is a pretty full coverage product, and I feel like mixing it with the moisturizer just makes it a little bit lighter and a little bit nicer for every day, for me at least. So I kind of just mix these two together right on my hand like this, and then apply this with my fingers, and then like I always do, I will smooth it out with a brush after I get it on my face. I didn't mention it when I first applied it, but I do have the shade Fair in this, by the way, so I'm just going to blend the rest of this out with a brush here. I have used the original CC Plus cream, the one that's not the illuminating version, and I like that one as well. There's just something about the illumination that I like. I don't know, I don't have a lot of skin products like this, and I think it does provide a really pretty glow to the skin. So fair warning though, this does have shimmer in it. If I'm out in natural light and I kind of catch a glimpse of myself, I can see this kind of sparkling on my skin, and I can see some of the shimmer in it, but I don't mind that. The other thing that I've done with this one too, just to kind of lessen the actual illumination, is I have mixed this with the original as well. So I'll do maybe a third of the illumination and then 2/3 of the regular one, just to tone it down a little bit. I do just really like the way that this makes my skin look overall. I feel like it makes it look really healthy and really luminous, so I like the illumination version. And I do think, like I said, mixing it with just a little bit of the moisturizer like I do shears it out just a little bit so that it doesn't look super heavy on the skin either. Moving on to concealer now, I'm going to use the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Concealer. I have mine in the shade 16N, which is Fair Light Neutral. I purchased this little teeny baby version just to test it out. It's okay. I do like this formula better than the original Shape Tape, but I'm still on the hunt. I've mentioned it in a few videos now. I'm on the hunt for something that's a little bit more moisturizing for under my eyes. I do think this is a little bit more blendable than the original Shape Tape. That one tends to get pretty dry on me, but you just can't beat the coverage, so I usually put up with it. But yeah, I do like this one as opposed to the original, but it's still not my favorite for under the eyes. So anyway, I just obviously put that under my eyes, and on my usual place is kind of in the center of my face and on some blemishes to brighten it up. So I'm just gonna blend this out. So with this look, I want my eyes to be really light and really bright, so I'm going to do something that I don't usually do, and that is layer another concealer on top of the Shape Tape. So this is the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. It's one of these little pens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this kind of underneath my brow to lighten up that area of my eye, and then I'm going to put just the littlest amount kind of right on top of the Shape Tape underneath my eye as well. Just kind of focusing right on this area here where I kind of have that darkness. So just again, the littlest, lightest amount, because I don't want this to look too heavy. And then I'm just going to really gently pat this out. So I'm just going to set my T-zone now with my CoverGirl Professional Loose Powder. I'm making sure just to put this in my T-zone for now because I am going to use a cream contour in a minute. For contour now, I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Sculpting Bronzer. This is just a cream bronzing stick. I have mine in the shade Toffee. This was a product, I did use this on my channel before. I think I included this in a like new at the drugstore video, and I didn't really care for it in that video because I just didn't have a lot of experience with cream products. But since I've been using more cream blushes and things, I have actually taken a liking to this just because I have a little bit more experience with how to use them and how to blend them. So I'm going to focus this just like the teeniest amount right underneath my cheekbone here. And the thing that I like about this product is obviously it looks pretty intense when you put it on. It is very pigmented and it's very creamy, but once you blend it out, it looks really soft and really natural. So I'm just going to use a brush to kind of blend this in a little bit. And as you can see, I am working with like a little bit bigger of a brush, so I always try to put a smaller amount of product so that it just doesn't make like a big muddy area on the side of my cheek, and then I will go back and build it up if I need to. Moving on to blush, I'm going to use my Bare Minerals bronzer. This is in the shade Kiss of Pink. I've talked about this quite a bit as well. I have really been loving this product. So I'm just going to apply this as a blush and then kind of bronze my forehead with it a little bit as well. So to apply this, I just kind of start at my cheeks, and then whatever's left on the brush after I've applied it to like the place that I usually apply blush, I just take it and kind of make the U shape that they suggest and then bring this down my nose as well. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Once I have that on my cheeks and in the center of my face, I just grabbed a little bit more product, and then I'm going to put this just kind of like at my hairline and at my temples just to kind of finish bronzing my face with this. Again, this is a product that is like really subtle, but I feel like it just kind of brings a little bit of life back into my face when I apply it with this, and I have really been enjoying it, especially on my like no makeup days where I just like kind of apply this obviously to the same places I just applied it now, but again, like it just brings the most beautiful kind of like life back into my complexion, but it's still super soft and super subtle, so it doesn't look weird or out of place or anything like that. All right, so for the most fun part now, the eyes, the first thing that I'm going to do is just put a little bit of bronzer into my crease. I just happen to have my Ilia Nightlight bronzer in front of me, but any like kind of like brown crease color or other bronzer that you have will work. This just happens to be, like I said, the one that is sitting in front of me. So I am just popping this into my crease, and then I'm going to run this along my lower lash line as well. Next for the lid, I'm going to take this Wet n Wild multi-stick. This is in, what is this here? This is just Lavender Bliss. And so what I'm going to do is just run this all along my lid, kind of up into the crease. And I'm putting this down as a base before I put this really light lilac shade on top of it. This color though, just like on its own, if you wanted to leave it like this, is really pretty as well. But I like kind of the pearly lavender shade in the palette on top of this. And I'm just going to pat it out a little bit just to make sure that it's kind of like evenly distributed on my lid. And then, again, I have the Wet n Wild Color Icon, these little 5-pan palette here. And this is, I don't know if there's a color on here. Let me see. It's the purple one, but there's no name. There's just a number. So I will see if I can put it in the description for you, but it's the purple one. So then what I'm going to do, like I said, I am going to take this very light kind of pearly lilac shade. I'm going to take this on my finger, and then I am going to put this right on top of the eyeshadow stick that I just put on. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of blend this together with the same brush that I used for the crease. The next thing that I'm going to do is take the lightest shade in this palette here, and I'm just going to put this kind of on my inner corner. I'm going to leave the shadow like this. Like I said, I wanted this to be very kind of like natural and bright for spring, so I wanted it to be wearable as well. You could deepen it up. This deepest shade in this little color icon palette here is really pretty to kind of like pop that in the outer corner, but I just want the eyes to be like really bright and really vibrant. So I'm going to leave it as is, and I'm going to move on to mascara now. I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous False Fiber Lashes. And again, here in keeping with the theme of keeping the eyes really like bright and open, what I'm going to do is focus most of this on the outer portion of my lashes to kind of create like a butterfly effect on my lashes, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to focus this on the outer half, like I said, and kind of focus on making them really like wispy, kind of like to bring my eyes out. I don't know how to describe that, so hopefully you can just like watch what I'm doing here. So after I have the majority of the product applied on this outer portion, I am just going to do a little bit in the inner portion just so that it kind of blends together. But I don't want the lashes on the inner portion of my eye to be like really thick or long or anything like that. I'm also going to apply just a little bit of mascara to my lower lashes. So the same thing though, I want to keep it on the outer corner. So I'm making sure that like most of the product is off of my brush because I want my lower lashes to be very, very soft and have just minimal amounts of product. So I'm going in now and again, just kind of like on the outer third, applying just a little bit of mascara to the lower. So last but not least, for lips, I'm going to use my Bare Minerals Gen Nude Gloss Balm. This is in the shade Peace. I did a video about these gloss bombs on my channel as well, where I actually reviewed these and the bronzer, and I still stand by what I said in that video when it comes to these glosses. I just don't think that the formula is supposed to be a gloss balm, but to me it just is a lip gloss. So there's nothing really special about the formula here, but what I like about this product is this shade. So I really like this, like it's nudie, but then it's got some like gold shimmer in it, and I just thought it would kind of tie this look together really nicely. So again, this is the shade Peace. I'm just gonna apply this to my lips. All right, you guys, that is going to complete this video. I hope that you enjoyed this short little get ready with me focused on some bright spring lilac makeup. If you did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next video.